Hi, it is Jani, and it is Mediumship Monday. I know I had just told a couple of people, I jumped on Facebook for a minute. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, okay? All right? I'm just asking you nicely. And I told everybody to jump on over here as I was going to try and use, I don't know if you've heard of, you could go ahead and shut that. She's not coming back. Maybe not. Was trying to use Restream.io, which is it aggregates different lives. So I was going to do my Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, potentially look into Facebook, but I don't really know yet. So I'm just going to kind of play it by ear, which is a lot of what's happening right now. So I had titled this this video "Subtle Guidance and Not So Subtle Guidance." I'm really wanting you guys to chime in as I'm talking about this, because because this is a conversation really about how you work with spirit. Working with spirit is something that can help guide you in your life. Not working with spirit, you could make a lot of wrong turns or different turns you didn't expect to go down. And we have had a huge planetary, we've had a lunar eclipse. We've had, I think, 5 or 6 planets go into retrograde. Hopefully Kelly will get back on here. And Kelly is on here. I was going to say, Kelly, get over here right now so we can talk about these energies, because I feel like I have lived 10 lives in the past week. Some of them really good. Some of them hurt my soul. So I just want to, so if you want to jump on, Kelly, with anything to say, I wonder if I can face you in like I could. Probably not. Okay, well, that was a good thought anyway. So we're gonna begin to talk about energy, how it works with you, how you work with it, because it's interesting. I noticed yesterday, I was a little saddened. I'm going to say this out here in Michigan. I started to notice that the sun was starting to set sooner. So the sun was setting. It was getting dark at 9, and I was like, oh no, it's not 10 o'clock. This is what's happening. It is about to go down. So the sun is, I'm now as an adult ticking the days away as it goes. 6 planets in retrograde, slowing everything. I need it to kind of slow down, Kelly. It's been going really fast for me. So okay, so. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Share with your friends. If you have a good experience, tell everybody. If you have a bad experience, as I always say, don't tell anybody. No one needs to know. You guys keep it to yourself. But I really do want to talk about subtle guidance. Subtle guidance is I really love that. I'm going to get it as a nameplate, as a nameplate necklace, because guidance is subtle from spirit. Sometimes you don't know what is around you until you begin to get curious about it. So and I have a day job, and I run. So as you can see, as I was beginning this video, I was saying that I was going to do Restream.io. You can't figure that out 5 minutes before you're supposed to go live. It just doesn't work. So I wanted to, so at some point I will work on that, and it will all work out. But in the meantime, I'm going to find a way to be gentle with myself. So what I want to talk about is 1.5 million things. I keep saying that. My brain is going in 10 different directions right now, because I already have a grandmother energy coming and showing up. So I guess I'm just going to, I don't know. I think I just want to open this up for readings. So August 11th in Leo. I want to start by talking about a grandmother energy that's come forward right here. It's also somebody, I feel like incredible amount of singing with her, along with knitting or sewing. It's sewing maybe and knitting, maybe both of them, with crochet. Very crafty, very artistic woman. This is like arts are in your bloodline. Now remember, and I know most of you have, some of you have come to my group readings, but some of you have not, and some of you don't even know who the heck I am. So this is what happens when I do a group reading. I will just give messages, and you'll fit them together in your life, right? That's what will happen. Yay, BQM. I'll put them together to fit into your life. You'll fit them into your life because I don't live your life. I don't know how these signs, ideas, thoughts kind of knit together with you. I have this grandmother who's a knitter here. She's absolutely very proud of her family. So what can happen is when a grandmother energy comes through, and let's say you're watching this a year and a half from now, and you're listening to it, and we really are still in conversation, even if you're just watching this a year and a half from now, and you had a grandmother pass. It could have happened within that year and a half from this video. Time is irrelevant here. It's not a relevant thing. So the message will always land where it's supposed to. So if you think that this message is calling to you, if there are things that kind of light your soul up, then it is absolutely for you. So, okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas, topics, anything you want, you could throw it up there. I am definitely willing and able to listen to feedback and also some constructive criticism, I guess, depending on the day. But I can totally, and we have a live audience member here too. Woo-hoo. Say it again, because I don't think they heard you. So we have a live audience member, and there was a question earlier to talk about energy. So I do want to talk about energy. Actually, I know that I might have said this last week. I might not have. The way that I began to get messages was reading people's handwriting. So I was able to begin to read the energy off handwriting. I was so far in my head that was the easiest way for a spirit to get in. Does that mean it's the way it's going to work for you? I thought there was a fly on me. Jeez, they're like not going away. Does that mean it's the easiest thing for you? Absolutely not. It definitely means that wherever spirit sees they're in, they'll take it. Okay. So it could mean that you begin to see auras out of nowhere. You really could. It could mean that you have a hunch of a place to be, or hunch of a place not to be, which is just as important as a hunch to be. So I know I love that. I know this story. I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure it's true, or there's some truths to it. Let me say it that way. There are probably some truth to it. So this woman was walking down a dark alley. And what's interesting is just a minute. I think it's in the sitting room.
The only person in the sitting room is Tom I.
Okay. So I'm needing to hang on a second. Could you? Yeah. All right. So I just totally forgot what I was talking about. Okay. So okay, Sherry, I'm glad to see you here. You were just there on Wednesday. So, okay, she was walking down a dark alley. That's right. She was walking down a dark alley and got really leery of this guy that was kind of like hanging around doing who knows what. And she got a little freaked out and called in to ask for angels, which is energy, and angels energy. That's what I want you to think of when you think of angels. It's calling in help from spirit. So she called in help from spirit. And then a little bit later, the guy actually attacked a woman and was caught. And she said, wait a second, I was just down there on that alley and I saw this guy. So she came in and remember, she's the one that didn't get assaulted. She did ask for help. And what ended up happening is they asked the guy who was doing the assaulting, why didn't you bother her? And he said, well, she had two huge guys on each side of her. Why would I have bothered her? So energy is everywhere, and it's everywhere for you to call upon. But it cannot come unless you call upon it. It is subtle. You have free will. You can live your life in any way that you want to. You could call on energies from the lunar eclipses. You could call on the energies of your own planets. You could work with the energies of seeing that's around you, getting the feel, like especially in the woods. Like get into the woods. The woods is that's where you get the most light, the most pure divinity light that you can get. A recharge is going to be in the woods. So that being said, I want to talk about how it's subtle. Obviously, he saw two big, huge guys on each side of her and wasn't going to attack her. But she didn't see it. It's all in the vision of the person who's watching. That's pretty subtle. Seeing auras, that's also subtle. Energy is always around us, impacting us, our decisions, and how we move forward, or how we move backwards, or how we move sideways. It's energy is everything, and you are energy. You're connected to the energy flow of all of the world. So why do I want to talk about that, and why do I care? Well, here are some of the reasons that I care. It impacts you. So you can do your vibration and frequency and have your energy low, and when it's low, it's much harder to get through the world, and much harder to make choices that are for your best good, because you're just trying to fight to make it through the day. So what can you do if your day is blah and you are just trying to make it through? One, you could definitely call a friend who's high energy. I talk to a lot of people and their energy turns around afterwards. I know you have people in your life that are like that. So reach out to them. You could do that. You could do music, anything. Music is, oh my God, I guess like woods and music. Those are the two things that go together, like peanut butter and jelly. I don't know if everybody, I guess in Newfoundland, it's not called jelly. It's called jam. Jelly is Jell-O, which is, gelatinous stuff. Anyway, I guess not gelatinous. So I'm a little uncomfortable today. So one of the things that, Madonna and Tori, yes. Madonna and Tori, and if you haven't heard me like rock out to Madonna and Tori, well, you'll have to come to like the next karaoke party, because just we'll have to go to the Cape. You have to go to the Cape and do karaoke there, Beth. Okay, so I do still want to talk about this grandmother energy. I had I'd like to offer this too, because I think it's sometimes you have your tell. Like, what's your tell when you're working with energy? So I use me because I write things down in note form for people. Sometimes I feel like I'm yelling in here. If I'm too loud, let me know. So sometimes I'll write things down. Now, the Jani side of me can really spell. Like, I can spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You name it, I can do it. I can spell. I know how to do it. But when I get in that zone, I will have a hard time spelling the word can or happiness or just like words or vibration and frequency, words that I know. So as I'm writing, I'll get a little flubbed up because then the Jani side jumps up. It's kind of like why I'm not really that good of a channeling the higher energies that are trying to come through times, because I take over. I'm a little bit of a control freak in my life that way, as I like to be in control of what's coming out of my mouth. I don't know if that's a control freak, but so anyway, I have I will begin to have this little fight, like, oh my gosh, that's not how you spell it, and I cross it out, and then I try and do it again, and I cross it out, try to do it again. But anyway, I offer that as a kind of funny thing. So on Saturday, I had to facilitate a meeting within my community. So I did a meeting, and I started to write people's names, and we had a new resident, a new potential resident. And now I don't read. When you get close to me, I don't read you. I can't. It's too, I don't want people, it's sacred. Our relationship that I have with people is sacred, and I won't go into it. I won't be reading anybody unless they're a client, basically. And sometimes when you become my friend, you don't get to be a client as well. You could, yeah. So anyway, so there's a woman who, and also true with neighbors. I don't walk around, I can't walk around and be like reading everybody all the time. That would be absolutely exhausting. That would be too much to ask of any one person. Be like, oh, and I've had that happen. Like, if you ever get anything for me, well, it doesn't really work that way. If you're supposed to have a session with me or a reading or a mini something, it will happen. Okay, so back to this meeting. So I'm doing this meeting. See, angels are already with us. That's really nice. So I'm doing this meeting, and I start to not be able to spell neighbors' names. I'm starting, like, we're doing like appreciations, what people liked about the meeting, what people didn't like, and I'm having a really hard time spelling. And this fly had come around, so I realized that it was a message for this this visitor. So I decided I would. I just said, okay, if that happens, if I happen to run into her again today, I will give the message. It's up to you, Spirit, to make it happen. I can't do it right now. This is not the time nor the place for me to be like, oh yeah, hey, and then I'll just start reading everybody. That's kind of what would happen. So so I'm hanging out in this like common area for a couple hours, just hanging out. And 2.5 hours later, this woman comes back into the common house looking for something, walks right to me and starts talking to me. So that is always my, like, if Spirit does its work to get somebody in front of me, I am obligated to do mine. So that's what I did. Gave her a great message from her mother, and so that's an important thing. So it's like feels like the night of the moms march going on over here. So so. All right, so I have a mother here who's coming through, like, she's a bit distressed for her daughter. There's like a daughter here that's having a really hard time. Keeps going through things, and pictures are falling out, and people are like, it's like too much talking going on around, and the message is just calm and peace. Find that place where you, because I just feel like a picture just fell out either today or yesterday, and it just, like, everything is being questioned. Everything is being double questioned, and then going over and having regrets and really missing them. The message from the mother is that they're still here, and she's also talking about, she is talking about a crocheted blanket. I don't know if she crocheted squares or she crocheted blankets for all the grandkids. I'm not sure, because I'm seeing like a very old crocheted, like, baby thing that somebody had given to my mom when I was born. So I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing somebody. Oh, that's really interesting. I feel like somebody is like. I just heard lost sight. So somebody lost sight as they were. I was like almost macular degeneration is what it feels like to me as I'm sitting here. So I feel like I've lost sight. I also feel that, wow, I got this huge wave of everybody. If you're watching this, I want you to be really aware of your own energy levels, because I just got this huge wave of like a couple of people battling sadness right now. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot of energy that happens there. So I'm just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by that right now. And actually, it's okay. All right. So I have two males coming forward. I have somebody who passes the lungs and the chest. This is an older male. Then I also have a younger male who would have passed death by suicide. I'm feeling him here with me. He's probably going to stay with me for the night, it looks like. I just, oh. Okay, so, there's like this young man who died by suicide. I feel him like just bringing love to his mother. That's So I feel like he's almost like resting his head on my shoulder. So this is a really, this is intense because there's a lot of emotion around it. I have to tell you again, that he's sorry. I don't even know if anybody is on. It might be for something later because he just started talking about flowers. Almost showed me like chrysanthemums. I don't know, and it could be. Oh, geez, it could be It literally could be. He's trying to make me say the word mum, like mom, what they would say in England. So I do know that. So there's that component. So it's almost like making me go there. It's not a nan. It's not a nan. It's a mum. So yeah, I think that's it. So this is somebody overseas. I want to say in England. I don't know who else says mum, but it's a. But I'm feeling that that passing. Okay. I just saw somebody fall from a ladder. So, pardon me. I see. This is a friend who like fell from a ladder, and I feel like a head injury that came and took him. It also feels friend, father. There's multiple people that just stepped forward owning this. Okay. The message that I just heard from that is that there's happiness on the other side, and happiness. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is what I just heard. And this is like almost in unison. So it was pretty loud. But like there's happiness on the other side. And you have to trust where you're at is where you're supposed to be at. What's happening is what's supposed to be happening. I know we've spent a lot of time talking about how magical you are as a magical being and creature, and you're able to imagine what your reality is via your emotions or your emotions in motion, your emotions. So I want to really encourage everybody who's watching this, no matter when you're watching this, to begin to work with your imagination, to really imagine your best life moving forward. What would you want in it? What would it feel like? What would you have? What would be different? Not even like different, but what would be your toy, right? What would you play on? I mean, so if you're imagining you want, and I'm just going to be like, thank you, Andy. You imagine you win the lottery, or you imagine you or your kid finds, treasure that was buried under the sea once. You imagine that all of a sudden things are coming into you and you're seeing good things. But not only are you imagining, you're feeling what it would feel like, and then you build that next step. Oh, I would, I'd give millions of dollars to Mother Teresa's school. And did you know that even saying the name Mother Teresa actually secretes enzymes within your body that fight disease? I mean, the woman was the bomb. The woman was the bomb. And okay, so that's not just you, Krista. That's a message coming across from everybody. So I also have like a heart attack. Somebody is like, again, chest. He's not going away. So he just came back. So it feels like heart, lungs area. I also feel it. Okay, they just showed me like somebody who had passed of a heart attack that couldn't be moved. So I'm seeing him on the ground, and it was really hard to either move him or it was hard to move him, and he might have also had like COPD, or another person's coming through with COPD, because it's really hard to breathe right now. Okay, so there's a message for the wife that was left behind, and there's just the message of feel like I'm sorry you had to pick up a lot of stuff. So I think there was a lot of things that were not answered, or questions, or even like a remodeling project. And I'm playing with my hair too much, but I'm trying not to do that. And me saying it is supposed to somehow help. Anyway, so I want to offer that, and I want to let you know that you can hire me for group readings, Zoom or Skype readings. I do over the internet, over the wonderful internet. What else? Oh, and like, can you see my skin? Can you tell? Like you can see, if I go back here, you can see like this streak. It's pretty cool. I did a laser, and so all my sun damage is coming out. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to look like I'm 20. No, okay, probably not. But I'm going to look, my skin is going to glow like a halo. That's what's going to happen. And if you want to do that too when you're in the area, go see Kissy at Desjardins. That's all I'm saying, yo. And they're not paying me. I'm just saying that. But anyway, that's our Mediumship Monday tonight. I'm not going to keep you here 40 minutes. I'm going to keep you here 26:023. So see light, be light, and for God's sakes, lighten up a little bit. I increased my vibration and frequency to the highest available to me now. So thank you so much for coming. Share it. And all right, I'll see you later. Peace.